If you're planning to hire a virtual assistant to help you build your business, these are the best interview questions you can ask them. I've hired dozens of virtual assistants over the years. I have about almost 10 right now working between my two companies, and these are the 11 interview questions I ask every single time during the interview process. So let's step right into it, and I'll show you guys what they are. The first set of 4 questions are simply to build rapport. You want to get them comfortable sharing with you. So first question is, what did you do before becoming a virtual assistant? What was the past role that maybe it was a VA, but tell me about it. I want to get them to start comfortably sharing with me. How did you get started? What else do you do besides work? Is a big shift from the first 2 questions. I want them to get thinking about their personal life, some of the motivation around why they're taking this job. I want them to know that they mean more than just the work that they're bringing to the table, to the team, to the company. I want them to know that I actually care about their interests outside of work. Now, number 4 is a huge motivational driver. What's your family situation like? This is probably going to start tapping into some emotion. Those first 3 questions were very easy. They were very comforting. Now I want them to talk about really why they're here. What's your family situation like? This also brings in, a level of like, okay, and I use this question with everybody, whether they're a virtual assistant or a W-2. Like, I don't know, are you just some single dude that maybe is partying all the time and don't really care about things? Or do you have responsibility and accountability, right? Like, I think that people that have a reason to show up and be prideful in the work that they're doing are more likely to stay with you and be passionate about the company that you're building. All right, the next 4 questions rather, is all about finding out if they align with your values. These 4 questions are the most powerful questions you're going to ask in the interview process. Let me walk you through each one of them. Number 5, the most challenging experience you have ever had, business or personal, that you are most proud of your ability to get through. So if I'm interviewing you right now, and let's just say your name is Bobby, because Bobby is the BAM video producer. Bobby, what's the most challenging experience you have ever had, whether it be business or personal, that you're most proud of your ability to get through it? And I just want to sit back and now listen. What is the most challenging experience that person is willing to share with me? If they're not willing to share something, or they just can't think of a challenging experience, that's telling me they've had it pretty easy, and it's not always going to be easy working with our company. So I want to take note of that. I also want to take note of like how deep they're willing to share, and some people go really deep on this one. Number 6, the type of leadership you responded well to in the past. So if I'm talking to Bobby again, Bobby, tell me about the type of leadership in your past roles that you've responded really well to. And as Bobby's telling me examples of, this leader and, how he really respected the way she went about her business, I want to nod. And even if I'm on Zoom, right? A lot of these times these interviews are on Zoom, I want to encourage them. Tell me more. What else did she do that you were really attracted to? I want to encourage more information as they talk about it, because the next line, and tell me a leader that you didn't respond well to, I want to have the same body language. I want to nod as almost if I'm agreeing with them, right? It says bait them in. Like you want them to share what they didn't like about X leader. And there's a way to answer this, and there's a way not to answer this. If they just say, well, I didn't like this leader because of, they gave me too much work, and that could be a red flag. Or if they really start to bury their leaders and even use them by name and talk poorly about them personally, what are they going to do when they leave you? But if they take a very professional approach and they say, I thought that this leader, didn't spend enough time on training, and it was training that I felt like I really needed. And, I went ahead and asked for this training a couple of different times and still never received it. And that's just something that I thought, I'm eager to learn. That's something that I thought that we could have done more of. Now, the next question you're going to ask, whether they answer it professionally, like the last example, or unprofessionally, is there anything you could have done to create a different outcome? The professional is going to say, yeah, they didn't have time to get that training to me. I know there's plenty of resources on YouTube. I could have dove into that and started looking for some of this training, after hours, so that I'm always looking to better myself. I could have taken that opportunity to do that, right? Is there anything you could have done different to create a new outcome? That's a powerful final question there on step 6 to find out if they've got accountability. Now we're going to ask them directly about accountability. And number 7 is nothing more than a set up question. This is planting a seed for the future. What's your experience been with accountability? So if I'm talking to Bobby, tell me about your experience with accountability. Now people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Like they're almost going to be like, I don't understand the question. And that's what you want. Like, I don't really understand what you're getting at. And so you're going to follow up. Where has accountability worked and where has it not worked for you? 99% of the time, everybody's going to answer the question that accountability always works. It works, right? Like I think it's never not worked when I've been accountable. Great. So Bobby, would you agree that accountability is a critical part of you being a successful virtual assistant with my company? And they're going to say yes, oftentimes emphatically. Yes, I agree. Great. I'm storing that for later when there's a coaching moment or a lack of accountability that props up. Remember when we talked through the interview, Bobby, and we both agreed that accountability is a critical part of us being a successful team together, right? And I'm going to use that to remind them of that conversation if there's a moment in the future where accountability is lacking. And then the final question here on really digging in to see if they align with your values is, at what lengths are you willing to go to on a daily basis to be a successful VA in real estate or on my team or in my company, whatever the case may be. I want to know what it really means for them, going back to like number 9 for the family situation, right? Like what's really driving them? What lengths are they willing to go to on a daily basis to be a valuable member of the team? 9 and 10 are just, let's get back to the basics here and just go really simply. Great. And you want to thank them right here. Before you get into 9 and 10, thank them for sharing so much personal information. Hey, Bobby, I really appreciate you taking the time and the steps to walk me through why this is important to you, what you're all about. That's really meaningful to me. And so, Bobby, just a couple of technical questions, like what type of computer, internet, why are you into? Are you just running off of the Wi-Fi, or are you plugged into Ethernet? I want my VAs plugged into Ethernet, by the way. And what kind of phone are you currently using? I just want to know like what their tech level is. Like, can they speak to it? Can they speak to like what kind of computer, how much storage they have, etc. Also, what software, email, CRM, file sharing, whatever's important to you in your business, are you using? I just want them to talk about that a little bit from a technical perspective. And hey, Bobby, I think I've got everything from you here. I really appreciate your time. Just to wrap up here, if you were to earn this position with our company, what would this position mean to you? And if they've described the family in the beginning and your family, what would this mean to you and your family? And I really want them to talk to that. And I want to, again, know that information for down the road. If we get to a spot where, this might not be working out, I also want people to get better every single day. So even if it's not a place where it's going to work out for them, any position they take, what are they doing? What's driving them to be really great at what they do, to actually improve on their life? And when you're hiring a virtual assistant, I think the big mistake people make is, is this person gonna be able to act like some type of robot for me. That is not the way to look at it. This is a hard-working, smart, intelligent human being that is a part of your team, and you should treat them that way. These interview questions set you up to be able to dig into that and start building the right type of working relationship. And I've said it many times, VAs are the hardest working people in the world. So if you want these questions that I just went through, there's an ebook below. Just go ahead. It's a free ebook. Download that. All the questions are there. We also dive into how to onboard that virtual assistant, how to start doing everything to be successful when you bring and hire that virtual assistant onto your team. So hit that ebook link below. I'll see you guys on the next video.